Okay. Hello. Good morning. We'll see how this goes. I am exhausted. 9 hours streaming plus whatever I'm gonna do this morning. I've overextended myself. Okay. I've had breakfast and orange juice, and I have my water. I'll make tea later.
How are you today? Come again.
I'm going to open up by going back to find side quests. West Lanterns. Okay.
How about this weather, These are rampage quests. Which quest would you like? Don't forget to eat.
Time for a break.
Get your bunny dongo right here! I knew you were gonna say that. Yeah!
Yuriko. Let's do this!
I have to say, doing this has been interesting. I've always done a handful of I've done a handful of streams previous before I started doing this consistently. It's kind of wild, just I guess playing around in this space. Like seeing what it takes to make it to be an actual streamer and having to be like active and speak more. Because like I traditionally don't really talk that much. So it has definitely affected my throat. And like I have a very tiny number of followers in comparison to most. It's been rather interesting because like, I feel stressed by this and I cannot imagine what it would be like to have like a few 100,000. All looking to you for entertainment. Scales
Man,
are so
good at
weird.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, so I spent like an hour yesterday trying to get one of those, and it just gave me two. Okay. Let's see, side quests, requests. Boat shells. Look at boat shells real quick. Frost irons. Oyster beds. Okay. Neat. There, neat. Okay, done.
Another successful hunt.
Oh, hello. I'll be here if you need me. Bunny Dongo are a taste of heaven. Have a look. Be careful out there.
Time for a break.
I've been waiting for you. I know what you like. Oh man, so good. Yeah.
Yuriko. Let's do this. Time for some sharpening. Hey! That's what I'm talking about.
Let's see if there's a visual for us. Let's go. Yeah. See how the icon at the bottom right changes? Interesting way to visualize their endemic life and also temporary. Creative. That's it. Okay. They make him a little hard to see. There's also only so much you can do. You have a bunch of different colors you can use. Yeah. Lucky life found. Don't know what that means.
That's one! Let's see. Mine!
Oh.
This is gonna be good!
Look at that. Okay.
Yeah!
What's next? Oh. Well, hello there.
Here it comes! Let's go for a ride!
Amazing!
Okay, that's enough. Mine! Something's coming! Knew I could count on it. Be careful! Placing a trap here!
The trap, Shinji.
That takes care of that.
Ah,
This needs some polish! Yeah! There's something here.
there's something here.
What's
I'll try that.
this? Making progress.
They found a little hole.
Let's see.
I think I've spoken. I think I found this thing previously. Yep.
Go! Let's see. There's something here. That's one. Good job, buddy. Piece of cake!
Trading is a wonderful profession. Farewell. Ah, it's you. Have a look. Very well.
Oh, hi there.
Hello, bombs. Don't we them? Explosions are good for you.
That's a good pick. Hey! Good luck.
Oh, we're done. Okay. Excellent.
Hello, good hunter. Let's go.
Hello, good hunter.
Farewell.
Are you looking for a buddy? choice. Hey! Happy hunting!
You wish to trade? At times, it is necessary to stand still and think before making decisions. Do not worry, I shall not press you. All aboard! Let's go! Very well. Hey.
It's a good day for a hunt.
Hmm.
Which quest would you like?
Oh, I gotta go for the Piggy Piggy.
Don't forget to eat.
I gotta see how my boy's doing.
Hey! Have a seat. Hey, you're back! What do I be today?
Ooh. Uh-huh.
Time to go.
An evening stroll. Looking for a snack to swallow whole. Never mind the taste. Satiety is the goal. Not enough, not enough. The beast growls for more. Anything is game for a true omnivore.
I think this is the first monster I've seen an intro for that wasn't like being a jerk to other monsters and it's just kind of out there eating his own thing.
Alright, let's go. Giddy up.
I didn't deposit my earlier stuff. So that's...
Move! That's what I'm talking about. Mine.
Turkey!
After it. Giddy up.
I smacked him in the head twice and he was just like, nope, and left.
Mine.
I don't remember them being this docile. Or having an AoE that big. Well, as I remember. I saw it. Plastic, got most of what? Listen. They give you plenty of time to get out of the way of that. lost it already. You should start using those flash bombs more often. I've never really used them.
Doing great.
They're all doing great. That damage. Dang.
It's getting away.
I don't know what I did, but that's really cool.
Let's go. Time for some sharpening. Man, I'm good at this. Mine.
Closer. Oh.
There's an obedient fella.
Game doesn't seem to be fitted to the stream window. Okay. I have no idea how long that's been there, sorry. I am half asleep. Let me check that real quick. Oh my god, you're right. Sorry about that. There we go. I don't know how that happened, but thank you for the heads up. Was awake for 24 hours plus yesterday. Yeesh. That's never good. You doing okay? For some reason I play much better when I'm sleep deprived. I don't know. Like, I feel like... Well, I feel like it's not good, for one. For another, I feel like the brain can kind of enter a real... like a zen mode and just kind of focus exactly on what's in front of it. I've done game jams and stuff where I've stayed awake for like 2 days,
Making
but
progress.
it's not something I recommend in any capacity. Oh, there he is. Someone says because I'm relaxed. It's possible. I just get real loopy when I'm sleep deprived.
Need a cure fast.
And I used a potion when I could have just literally walked through that. Hey, Spook. I'm playing some Monster Hunter this morning.
That takes care of that. Need a door.
I remember my first time I played against this dude was with a lance and world, which is doable, but very hard to play that slow of
Here it comes.
a bong. Oh Jesus! I just got owned. Very hard to play against an AOE enemy with that slow of a movement set. It's easier in this one. Great weapon to run your friends over with, though. Yes. Maybe this I can get off. I'm surprised I got off that much of the Big Bang against this dude. So I will wait for it to do an attack. Maybe I'll just put one in. Oh.
The place to die. This is bad.
They can fly over it? I've been just trying to get a post game so I can keep going what I've been doing on the Switch. Nice.
Now's our chance.
Yeah, this is my first time I've been playing it. Played a reasonable amount of World and a little bit of 4U, but I don't own a Switch, otherwise I would have bought this on launch. Woo. 4's got such a good story. Did it? I put like 40 hours in it, but it didn't really mesh with me. But the franchise as a whole didn't really mesh with me until I hit World, and it was like, okay, I get it now. And I think it was just the weapons. And also, I had a lot more people that knew that I could take advice or get advice from by the time I hit World, because when I played 4, I went in with no information whatsoever, and like couldn't hit anything. Like my first weapon in that game was the greatsword. And it did not go well. I'm not even sure I could play a greatsword reasonably well now.
Bunny Dongo are a taste of heaven.
Yeah, Monster Hunter is a franchise you typically need a tour guide for. Yeah, exactly. I will say, for going in blind, I had a good time with Charge Blade. I don't know how. It's the only game that I've played that Charge Blade clicked for me in any capacity. I also find it amusing that I went from Greatsword to Charge Blade. Charge Blade was apparently busted in 4. That may have been why I did well with it.
Come again.
What else? Mini. I have. Oh, I got my up. I've actually been playing Monster Hunter Frontier Z with a friend, which was an MMO Monster Hunter game that shut down in 2019 and never got localized. Ton of fun. Wow. I would have loved an MMO Monster Hunter. Buddies. Okay. Sure. I'm a little surprised that that didn't get a localization. So MMOs are the hardest thing, like the hardest games to make in terms of sheer man hours and development cost. But if they've already got it made, localizing it wouldn't be that... Oh, they probably didn't want to spend money on marketing. The mechanics of the MMO I've seen available looks like it was an awesome online game. Yeah. You can get ducks as a pet, always nice. Or Googos. Googos. Yeah, I guess they just didn't want to invest in the marketing to bring it over here. Because marketing on its own is extremely costly. Like, contemporary AA and up, you spend like 4 or 5 weird, or what a weird name to call a duck. Well, yeah. I mean, the dogs in this are called canines with a C-A-Y. The cats are called palicos. They've always had kind of weird things, but also like these are the English versions of those, I believe. So like Goku's probably makes sense in Japanese, and less so in English. It's possible now to host a private server and play on that with a limited English patch. Understandable. What's it doing? Let's save it. Oh, if you play this on Switch, like, question, I got a, there's like a couple things that I do not... Okay, like, my friend and I just hit G-Rank with it, and Shantine was a scary fight. Nice. I have not gotten there, so I don't know what that one is yet, but, I got a guarding parasol, and, like, scrolls? What do I do with these? I have no idea what these things even are. Oh, Palicos and Palamoves, that was it. Where did I get Canine? Equip them on your dog. Okay, how do I do that? For the buddy board. I looked through there and I didn't see anything. Maybe I was... Is it equipment? Oh, okay. Oh, you're right. Okay, I'm just an idiot. Oh, okay. I wondered why it wasn't using the bone, so these are just additional gear for it then. If I attract his attention, I will keep that. Lures monsters, hide the bones peasants. I always just use my cat, Corporal Crims. That's an amazing name for the cat. I'm gonna give him this parasol, see what that happens. Oh, I can equip more than one. Okay, in that regard, I will do this, and then I will do this. Oh, I can't. Okay. What's this? Oh, this is just seeing what's in there. Okay, never mind. In that case, I'm gonna... Oh, and I don't have any for the cat. Okay. Oh, I'm at it. He hasn't let me down yet, not in 4U, GU, or Rise. Nice. Let's see. But I've just been using my Hunter AI partner in Frontier instead of him. How is Frontier? I've only heard a little bit of it. Named Lady Lacerate. Nice. I always appreciate pun names. Better cats bipedal in this game? Yeah. Yeah, they just walk around and they hunch over, and every time I see their posture, I sit up a little straighter in my chair. Because they've got that shrimp posture. I like the headband I got on Taco. The little Axl Rose going on. New I can give this dude. No. Okay, that's adorable. Frontier definitely has those dated elements from old Monster Hunter, but it's still a lot of fun to play. Nice. It's a syringe. This Samaria's Frontier was ahead of its time. That is a Super Soaker. Oh, that is incredible. I love this. But yeah, I really like Monster Hunter as a franchise. Longsword apparently had a Fade Slash before that move was in the main series. Nice. Holding the button to gather, which isn't in Monster Hunter 4. That's right. I think I remember having to spam that button. There's been a consistent trend of accessibility and ease of use that I've been a fan of in the games that I've played. Like, you just hit the button once, and like on a mining thing in here, and you get all three. Like, the Palico or the Palamute exists just so you can get around faster, which I like considerably. You just mine and everything on top of it. It's like, what if we made a cat that was bigger and just helped you do everything? crouch, get it, gather meta. I remember that. Yeah.
How about this weather, hmm?
Yeah, you can crouch in this game, and I found out recently, but you don't really need to. Also, Mushroom, Jeff, you can tap a button while in the item box to instantly load an item set. Interesting. I don't think
Take
this
care of
has it.
yourself.
And I don't think World had it either. Nope. Maybe? No. No. L2 was my Gore Magala farming set. Nice. Full disclosure, I barely got into... The only time I've ever gotten into high rank was in World, and only barely so. My attention is scattered, and so I tend to, like, bounce between games a lot. And also, I never really had anybody to play World with.
It's a good day for a hunt. Here's the quest list.
Deliver the liver. If you're on PC, I'm a gamer. Nice. I am on PC, but I am playing it solo for right now just to get the brunt of it, and I'll end up going. I'll probably end up playing with viewers in general later.
How are you today?
Let's see,
Have a look.
Ooh, Rathian, yes. I'm gonna smash a Rathian in the face with my giant hammer.
I'm here for you. Here's your favorite. Yeah, I love that one too. You.
Yuriko.
I love these opening scenes so much.
Flames billowing high. This is where she makes her realm. Best to not go nigh. Fire scorching the earth. Lighting up the sky. When Her Highness sets her eyes on you, it's time to say goodbye.
Fire Breath and Poison Tail, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, this'll be easy. Get here.
It's a big looking bird, yeah. It was certainly a big dragon bird thing.
That's what I'm talking about. Hey!
I should probably go back up there and... I like the little bonuses they give with the birds and such. That's a clever way to streamline things. Yeah, like this right here, where you just do it once and you immediately have all three, I think is... Like, how do I phrase this? They streamlined the experience with this game a lot in ways that I enjoy. There's still value in the way that it was presented even back in like 4U, where you had to like plan hunts around getting specific, or plan expeditions about getting specific items and stuff, because your inventory wasn't big enough to just wander around and pick up everything. But I do think that it was a good direction to go to make it more accessible and streamlined. Even though I can see how that might have, where am I going? Gone against the more hardcore crowd. What is happening? Oh! Hello there! Good morning, sir! Like I mostly think some areas were too streamlined, like the monster tracking. I can see that. Like where you just... Like I can just track any of them from any distance. There's always a debate in gaming in general between the... Oh, in post-game they just appear on the map and everyone rushes towards it. Understandable, yeah, I can see how that would be a little detrimental. In gaming there's always going to be a discussion between the hardcore crowd and the casual people pushing for accessibility. I feel like there's always a fine line, and I feel like there's always going to be space between... I'm going the wrong damn way again. Space between where you can bounce back and forth. I tend to favor accessibility, on the grounds that I make games myself, and in something like this, more accessibility means more people to play the game and more people to play with you. Like, I don't know that I would have been able to recommend For You to anyone that didn't already play Monster Hunter. This I could recommend to anyone who even liked the combat in Dark Souls but found the difficulty too hard. Which again is not criticizing how they used to do it. It's just changing the... It's just a different experience. And I prefer this one more in a broader sense. Because of what it means for the game as a franchise, as opposed to what it means for the game as the game. Oh, damn! That was not the right button. This is what I get for not updating my armor. I think they could have given a real reason to correct spears without being just a time sink, and also take advantage of the verticality that the wire bugs provide by having you climb higher areas to search for your target monsters. Yeah. I think the idea behind... Jesus. I think the idea behind it back then is by the time you get to high rank, you're pretty much just doing it for the monsters and not really having a reason to explore. Getting to use the other mode of this. Hopefully it didn't borrow. Hopefully it didn't bite me in the ass. Okay. Begins to feel like more like monster brawling than hunting. That's fair. Moment, my antivirus has decided now would be a great time to tell me it didn't find anything. Okay.
Some polish.
3 games I will never... Damn it! Shit. I will never get used to using the stick as shortcuts. Hello, sir. We've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. just,
Be careful!
just the Superman dive out of the way. He seems pissed about the extended warranty.
Here it comes! Be careful!
She's a bit upset, yeah.
Say goodbye!
I love the ability to use the spinning thing. Especially when the warranty comes with Blood Wars trauma.
You shouldn't have tipped me off!
That's a great joke. Ooh, well, I got the last hit. That's good enough.
Something's coming!
Instead of words, violence. I don't know my... Ooh. I do like that the collider, the attack colliders for this are a lot more precise than previous games. I think it's a lot more forgiving. Whew. Speaking of which, it's basically the Monk weapon, yeah. Now! Okay.
Here it comes!
You do your thing, and then I'm gonna hit you with this hammer.
Something's coming!
No.
Now I'm getting angry!
I cannot aim this
Here it
thing
comes!
for shit. Oh!
Making progress!
With Horizon's increased verticality, I do think it could have been a spot here. Yeah.
Be careful!
I think what they wanted to do was just streamline the map design coming off of World. Because, like, with World, it was hyper detailed visually. And it had so much in it that they could only have like 4 maps for it. When I dash around the monster like a mosquito, yeah. I mean, that's entirely possible for future entries. I think they just wanted to differentiate it from World. And go back to a more classic formula where you have a bunch of maps instead of just, like 4.
Time for some sharpening!
I have a reason to suspect the reason why it was so detailed is because of I feel like they had a long talk with PlayStation, and PlayStation was like, hey, if you want to put this on there, you're gonna have to make it so to sell consoles. So you're gonna have to make it gorgeous, and they're like, okay.
What's this?
There's nothing to confirm that, it's just a hunch as a dev.
Doing great! There's something here.
Imagine if there was, though. Yeah. Oh, nice, there's no fall damage. Imagine if there was, though. Yeah. This would not be fun. I'm actually not a fan of the verticality in this level. It's kind of hard to get around in comparison to the other one, but... I also just haven't played it enough to get used to it, so... I want there to be a mountain tall enough to just make your hunter faceplant after he jumps off of it. Yeah, and Spider Dog. Wasn't there a... There was an area in World, in the weird bubbly area that Palamo, the little bubble dragon thing, was in. Wasn't there a cliff up there that was like way the hell up? And you could just jump down off? So I swear I remember seeing a YouTube of somebody taking a great sword and dropping down from that Palomu.
That takes
Palomu.
care of that.
Palomu. There we go. As I swear I saw a video of somebody taking a great sword, dropping down off there, and it taking like a minute and a half to get down, and then just landing directly on top of a monster. Yeah, the place where Legiana hangs around. Okay, yeah. Where the hell am I going? I'm new to reading chat and playing video games, so... and I'm easily distracted to begin with. Okay. But the motion value doesn't account for the fall speed, right? Yeah. Extended warranty face bludgeon. Oh.
Making progress.
It broke off apart with his tail? Wow. Another extended warranty victim.
Here it comes. Something's coming.
The audio cues of when it's about to do something are great in this game. Why do dragons forget about their cars? Probably because they can't fit in them. So you get them one and they're like, oh, thanks, man. And then, like, they try to get in it and they're like, oh. So, like, they can use them, but they kind of, like, have to fly around with them. Frontier's actually on another level when it comes to monsters. It makes it feel like a serious threat to yourself. Nice. Toa, something or other can encase you with growing eyes from the foot upwards and you have to mash out of it. Seems like wasting money. It seems like wasting money for the cars, yeah. Oh, here we go. Hello, sir. May I introduce you to the Big Bang Theory? Some monster's gonna click Extreme Thunderblight. Yeesh. Ooh. Instead of the universe exploding, your head does.
Here it comes.
I think, in the scheme of things, they build games to maintain the franchise, and they've got two groups that they focus on. The first being people that are new to it, so that they can grow their brand. And the second being the hardcore crowd that have played it forever and want something new, and wants something more challenging. I think this game was built more towards the new crowd, to get people into Monster Hunter, and I would expect the next one to would it either follow that trend or get back to a more serious and more difficult range.
After it. Giddy up.
If you get hit by Extreme Thunderblight while already having that debuff, your hunter suffers a deadly seize or need to be resuscitated by another player before you cart. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much what I mean. Is like, if you were new to the franchise and that happened to you, that's uninstall territory for a lot of people. But for a veteran of the series, I can absolutely see how that would be, like, straight up engaging gameplay. They'd be like, look, this thing wants you to stay on your toes at all time. This thing expects you to do well. And I can understand the appeal of that. Zenith hunts, though, for really invested hunters. Well, that's fair. As opposed to, like, early to mid-level monsters. But yeah, if it's not doing that throughout the entire game, then yeah, that would be different. Didn't know I could do a jump charge attack. Oh wow, that's a game changer. Extended dispatch. Extended warranty. List of monsters that can actually do it are pretty short too. Okay, that's more fair. That's completely invalidating the opinion that I had.
It's getting away!
Yeah, if that's like literal in-game monsters, then that's not really an accessibility concern. That's a, hey, you've gotten this far, let's see what else you can do kind of thing. And also nullify by Thunder Resist or by eating null berries to get rid of the first Thunderbite attack, yeah. Oh, I like that stuff. Which I'm absolutely specking for when I have to fight them. I will be seizure proof. Oh! Superman dive is not how you get out of burning. I do like how there's like a sense, I feel like there's more of a sense of weight for attacks like this. In that I've noticed that some attacks seem to stun the monster more than the other franchise did, or the other iteration did.
Placing a trap here!
There we go.
Now's our chance!
Boom, done. Whew. I'm finally at a point where I need to start thinking about upgrading my armor.
Piece of cake!
Welcome. Take care. How may I help you?
Oh, okay.
Ah. Come back anytime.
Let's see. I'm not sure if you already know, but monster materials have different drop rates depending on capture carve. Yeah, I know, or I knew that like capture would give you better. Wait, from what I remember, captures would give you more materials, and some stuff you can only get from capturing. Are you saying that carve that works both directions now? That you can only get specific materials from carving too? Like, did they change that to go both directions?
Good to see you, Hunter. Are you foraging or upgrading? No need to hurry. There's plenty of time.
And world captures just straight up give you more in every game. Every other game would have different drop rates depending on if you capture a card. Sometimes only available if you do one or the other. Okay, good to know. I did not know that. Thank you. Let's see. You say what Zutsume Clause, which was a real grind in GU. While you're finishing, if I capture this, I have 0% chance to get claws from captures. 13% from cards. Interesting. I probably would have played this game throughout and not known that if you had not brought this up, so I appreciate that. I'm gonna check the jam real quick. I'll be right back. There's a game jam going on and I'm a moderator for it. I just want to make sure everything's going okay. Okay, I'm back. I just really need to get this out there because everybody defaults to capturing monsters when I really don't need to. Yeah, that's fair. Instead of keeping monsters alive, just turn them into Halloween decorations / funny hats. Yeah. Speaking of which, hello, sir. Do you like my fancy hat? It used to be alive. Speaking of which, I love the Wiggler helmet in World. I feel like everybody did. Let's see. Oh, I like this one too. This is like half the dude from Set's Fortress and Dark Souls and half something from Breath of the Wild. World taught a lot of players that capturing was the only good option, so it gets difficult to grind materials in multiplayer. Yeah, I can see. I completely understand. Like I said, if you had not pointed that out, I wouldn't have known it either. Which is interesting in a game in which they streamlined so much, but they brought that back. Alright, I'm not really sure what to do with my armor. I'm currently got mostly, That's why I really like some people to know I play with. Yeah. What's this? Ballistics. Oh, thanks. Straight up. Oh, by the way, what is shrapnel ammo for? Because it seems like a worse version of spread. I'd have just gone with defense stat until I could farm Narga Kuga. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing. This is like a very early affinity build, which I used for a hammer that I've already swapped out. And honestly, I couldn't figure it out either. Understandable. Let's see. Yeah, I'll just... Let's see. Oh, this is the monkey. Maximum might. Let's see. It's an intentionally malfunctioning bowgun round that just exploded in the barrel. Yeah. And it's weird because from the bloom it has, it feels like it would be really good in extremely close range, but somehow does less damage? It's like, oh, okay. Substitution. Yeah, this seems reasonable.
No problem. Right, let's get
So I guess it's good for small monster grinding. That may be. That's entirely on the table. Other than that, who knows? Yeah.
No problem.
Okay, nothing more. Here's the evade distance, though I do that all the time, so this will be fine. Nice Surgeon fighting is Juratotus. Juratotus. I think that's how you pronounce it. Yeah, I saw that they only have those at high rank, and I was very confused. Although I did find them, when I first played World, I did find them a huge pain in the ass.
Gotcha. Right, let's get pressing.
I don't think the res bonus from matching sets is going to matter this early. Critical eye, Constitution blended, and so does an arm for longer. Wish they bring Longsword's Valor parry back from GU.
My hammer's ready.
I am unsure what that one is. Replace my Foresight Slash with it, yeah.
Are you foraging or upgrading?
I love how this looks. My damage is okay. I've intentionally gone without going for element-based stuff until I get to a point where I have to. I'm just going for raw damage at present.
Take hours. I'm used to waiting.
It's a wild-looking hammer. Your first Spirit attack in Valor state would sharply slap aside the attack, nullify the damage, and deal significant stagger damage. Okay, nice. Very small window, though, yeah. Dark Souls parry, a little bit, sounds like.
Now get hunting.
It's a good day for a hunt.
It's like 0.4 seconds. That's a pretty slow, yeah, that's a pretty small window. Under half a second. Well, that seems consistent with some of the attacks. I did a run through. I did a. I recorded some of the attacks for like the hammer, I think it was. I think most of the attacks in this game, or at least the previous one, would take about a second or two to run through. It's so good to pull it off and then combo right into a spirit for bonus damage. Yeah.
Which quest would you like?
That's Tobigadachi. Tobigadachi! I gotta see what they do with Tobigadachi.
Be careful out there.
Hammer got a bit of a weird sort of parry and rise. It has a parry? Really? As a hammer main, you have my attention.
Usual, huh? Oh man, so good!
Switch to with the word water in it, I can't remember. Okay, I just don't have that one yet then.
Time to go.
I've only got 2.
What do you want?
I don't know.
Bye.
Oh, I think I do it from this. Change switch skill, yeah. I've only got the spinny attack and dash breaker. And I like dash breaker, but I like the spinny one better. I just haven't unlocked it yet. That's fine.
A flying shadow.
Do you want to know how to lock the...
Stalking.
Do you want to know how to unlock the other switch skills? Yeah, sure.
Silent as the wind, with eyes shining bright. Always craving blood, lightning running through its fur. When it swoops down on its prey, all becomes a blur.
Tobigadachi.
Alright, let's go. Giddy up.
I still don't know what the kunai are even for. Flying agent, yep. One comes from upgrading a weapon type like 7 times in Blacksmith. The other comes from high rank hub quests. Okay. Oh, so you have different ways to unlock them. Interesting.
What's this?
Valor Spirit combo, but no Valor parry. Yeah. The design space for these weapons is interesting to me. Because it seems like they're always toying with them in some capacity. Like, they've removed, it looked like they removed, I've only played with it a little bit, but they look like they've removed some of the functionality they had from the bow and just streamlined it in general. Or maybe they just moved, maybe that's what they did. Maybe they moved it from the, into like a skill thing. The skill swap thing. Maybe that's where they moved it to. But there was like the shotgun combo thing that you could do with those things was gone, and I was like, oh. What the fuck is that?
This is gonna be good.
Like, it's very angry is what it is. Some weapons got an odd mixing up from their movesets, yeah. The longsword just got like 10 more combo trees. Yeesh.
Mine. Let's see. Making progress.
I like that they have these. It's like you can make one person the designated tank. I think that's an interesting addition to a game. Or to this specifically, where it was kind of up for grabs. Extended warranty attack!
And wait.
The gameplay trailer was the funniest thing with the endemic life. Was it? I don't think I've seen the gameplay trailer for this. You got walked up to a snail and we're like, look at a funny snail. Man proceeds to kidnap Saints. Yeah. Ow. When did he get that?
What is the best?
Poor snail, yeah. Shit. He is not as agile as he was in World. Quite useful though, yeah. Oops. Speaking of stuff in this game, what is the kunai for? Like just getting their attention? You can have it place it down, it'll puff out something and it heals you, yeah. Like this thing.
Putting down a decoy.
It's like, what does this do? What's it doing? How's it floating? At least kidnapping has a reason. It's an interesting statement out of context. Well, at least this kidnapping has a reason. Have you heard of our Lord and Savior timed barrel bombs? Fair. I feel weird saying this considering I have, like, how much time I've put into this. I've never used a barrel bomb. I understand their utility, I've just never gotten around to it. Although I've also never really played that high of a rank. I feel like one of the best parts about using the hammer is like when you feel like you're about to whiff a shot and then smack it directly in the head anyway.
Oh no, you don't. Let go. Good as new.
Looking at it, but
Look at this.
I love the voice lines. Ah, look at this! John barrel bombs are only for lighting a copious amount of contained gunpowder on a monster's face for maximum injury as they sleep, but that's boring stuff. Yeah.
Be careful.
Your teammate's stunned or sleepy, throw a timed barrel bomb. I was about to say, how is this man not murdering me? Use the damn... There we go. Good lord. He just pops out of nowhere like, hello, motherfucker. Paralyzed teammates can only be saved by weapon attacks that send them flying. Time barrel bomb.
Here it comes!
Longsword has extreme wake up damage potential with a critical junction skill by time barrel bomb. Oh, don't mind if I do. Have you watched The Big Bang Theory? Let me show you. I like the claw. The last hit of the claw instead of its head. Great Sword's Rage Slash, buff your damage when you get hit. Time barrel bomb.
This is the end! Say goodbye! It's getting away! I knew I could count on you. Oh,
Damn it.
bad.
Just tank that damage to hit him. Did not know I had that kind of a damage window. Also applies to HPG, Silk by counter, SNS, that. SPs. Just about anything benefits you can hit that you can do to yourself. Okay. Ow. Always throwing quills. Now he's throwing me. Use this. There we go. I never leave for home without my precious time barrel bombs. I don't know anyone that plays in high rank that doesn't have barrel bombs on them at least. I walked into that. This player's using the big non-times barrel bombs. Yeah. He just gets slapped by this dinosaur and he's like, okay.
There's an obedient fella. Here it comes!
Amazing!
Okay, that's enough.
I haven't seen anyone that's used the time barrel bombs on my Leaf Legends still schedule. I mean, hey, if it works. Being able to rival greatswords wake up damage as a longsword, yeah.
Be careful.
I need to play greatsword. Ooh, bomb. I think I'm going to try greatsword next. And just see if I can hit anything. It knocked down and I hit him so fucking hard. He just fell back over again. I love the hammer so much. Spin attack. Ow. My spin attack. He hit me in my spin attack. Spin attack, yeah. Phase 2. Tobi here just pissed off at everything. The dinosaur's just minding its own business. He's like, no. Ooh. Never mind. Some world's monsters have here feel oddly different. Yeah, but this one in particular, this one was a lot more squirrely than the previous one. This is basically like phase 2 or phase 3, though. They do get more aggressive and start using different movesets. I don't think it's as pronounced as it was in World, though. Tobi more grounded, and Anjanath got a moveset change, and Zinogre is just faster. I'm unfamiliar with Zinogre. I have fond memories of Anjanath. Specifically, I remember really liking the Barroth fight, and then getting all his armor, and then fighting Anjanath and just getting one-shotted with the fire breath because it's weak to fire. Lighting cover, yeah. Why did the lizard eat a toaster? I mean, you're gonna see the size of this thing and tell him not to eat a toaster? If he wants to eat, and if this thing wants to eat a kitchen appliance, I'm not gonna be the one to tell him not to. Would probably benefit from it too, yeah. I see how he's tiring more, and now he's limping. I wonder if it can make toast.
There's something here.
Yeah, entirely possible.
Doing great.
My face. I was using that face and I only have the one. Broke his tail? That's a thing?
Knew I could count.
Ooh. Ow. I don't know how that didn't hit me, but I will take it. I get that I get that feeling a lot in this game. It's like I don't know how this didn't hit me, but
Nothing first.
Ruggies!
I'll be taking this.
The Big Bang Theory was too much of it, yeah. Too much for it, yeah.
Here comes the
Couldn't
message.
handle the Sheldon. Excessive
I'll be
Bazinga.
taking this.
They said you like pun names and I'd like to make a fancy gentleman hat tipper type characters. Any idea what my name is for Monster Hunter? I'm assuming Milady is going to be in the title. Let me think. Well, I do like pun names, but I prefer, like, most of mine end up being shitposts. Top hat tipper type of, okay. Gentle Manuel? Maybe? I have no idea. Sir Smacksworth, nice. And his trusty Palico Corporal Crims. Incredible. Alright, I want to go grab a great sword and just see how that thing feels.
You wish to trade?
Unpopular opinion. This lady just looks like Lord Farquaad to me. Like, is it me, or is this just Lord Farquaad from friggin' Shrek?
Let's go.
I mean, it fits, and it kind of suits her. She's got like a... That is a comparison. Yeah.
Farewell.
The height doesn't match up. Are you sure? Well, yeah, she'd have to be like a foot shorter. But I mean, like, visually the clothing makes sense, and she's got kind of like a Spanish conquistador kind of not necessarily an aesthetic, but an air to her. Because she's definitely different from everyone else here. It's probably analogous to the Dutch, was it, that first made landfall in Japan after they started opening back up again? I think, if history serves me right. But like the colors and the hair just scream Farquaad to me for some reason. Oh, that's right. I was going to go to the training area. Alright, great sword. This doesn't feel as slow as the hammer. Doesn't feel slower than the hammer as I was expecting.
Now I'm getting angry.
And whiffed the last shot. Okay, the dash with this weapon is a lot snappier than I remember. I mean, in all fairness, I haven't seriously used this weapon in like 4 years, so there is... My memory of it in general is questionable at best. Thanks for the follow, by the way. Light slash, tackle, leaping light slash. Pressing. Which was meant to be a sort of hit and run weapon. That makes sense. Hit like a truck, run away. Probably a bigger extension of the hammer. I feel like the hammer's a hit and run weapon as well. Or it's either designed to be that way or I just use it that way, considering how often I use charge attacks. Your tackle has full hyper armor. What is full hyper armor? I mean, it just plows through it, or plows through attacks? Get hit during it, no flinch, no knockback. Nice. You love to hear it. Okay, so this is a basic combo. Hey, it's Eternal. Quick question, if I may. Have you got an idea why my player is visible, playable in the main menu of the game, even though the prefab is not inside the main menu scene? That's... Let me reread that. Have you got an idea why my player is visible, playable in the main menu of the game, even though the prefab is not inside the main menu scene? I have absolutely no idea. That's wild. If it's not, are you using multiple cameras? I'm assuming you're using Unity. So if it's using multiple cameras, it might be rendering it in front of it. I want to do something in Unity soonish. I like Unity personally. I could send you a screenshot in Discord with a hierarchy. Yeah, go ahead. The player can't jump on the left direction for some reason. Hey, welcome back, Spook. Are you using a keyboard? Like, what are the control inputs?
Buddy's the best.
Arrow keys, okay. So that's buttons and not axis, so that's swaps that out, or changes that out. Show Spook, DM me your movement code. Harold, send me the screenshot with a hierarchy. I'll see what I can do. The camera seems like it would either be, it might be a child of, your player object might just be a child of the camera as it's spawning in that scene. I would assume. It may also be set to non-destroy. Send to the game dev channel. Okay, that's fine. This will make an interesting VOD, but helping game development is what I'm here for to begin with. Okay, and menu main scene. Okay, full disclosure, I haven't used Unity in like 2 years, but if you've got both scenes loaded at the same time, that's probably why your player object is visible in some capacity. That makes sense. Yeah, it was like, if you've got multiple scenes loaded, it'll have all of the assets loaded for both scenes simultaneously in the same place. We try to remove the main scene.
Buddy's the best.
Spook, did you DM me your movement script? Or are you still looking at it? My potato laptop is having a seizure. I understand. The one downside to game development is it typically requires having a reasonable rig to get it off the ground. Okay, that fixes things a lot. I didn't know about that issue with having multiple scenes in the hierarchy. Yeah, no problem. It's an easy thing to run into immediately, because especially now, because like a scene was typically what had everything in there to begin with. But yeah, if you're using multiple scenes at a time, it loads everything and will have everything running at the same time. What I've done in the past is used. I don't know that I would recommend doing this for a jam setting. In fact, I think what I would recommend using for a jam setting is only using one scene at a time, unless you already know what you're doing, or have a small enough scope game that you can make it work with this. But like, it's typically easier to just work with one scene at a time so that it doesn't run into problems like that, because you'll often have like things happening at the same time, and it could be problematic to try to get them to stop. But in the future, if you want to, what is more typical to use is something called asynchronous loading, where if you're trying to reduce like load times between scenes, which I'm assuming that might be what you're doing by using multiple scenes at once, is to reduce that load time. You can use asynchronous loading to like basically load everything out of a scene and then load the next one in and have a smooth transition between the two. But I don't know that I'd recommend that for a game jam, but that's just something to keep in mind moving forward. I'll put it that way. Okay, I'll just write the code. I'm play around with Sword and Shield a little bit while I'm waiting on this. That's a great tip. Currently only have 2 scenes, so it might not be necessary to... Oh, if you only have 2 scenes in general, don't worry about it. Just use one at a time. It'll save you a lot. It'll save you a bunch of headaches. Yeah, a general rule of game development that I've found out the hard way is you'll only really want to make things as complicated as they absolutely need to be. because the fewer headaches you have, the easier development will run.
Who I can count
I am enjoying just playing around with this. I don't think I've ever really gotten a Sword and Shield. I have to look up a video on this later. This might be fun to use. I find it interesting that like Sword and Shield has always been the beginner weapon. Not in a derogatory sense, but it was like literally the one that had a mix of like a bunch of different elements. Like it has a shield, it has a charge attack. Simple and complicated in 2 games. Yeah. Wait, it really went complicated? That might explain. I thought they reduced it for World. Reduced the complexity for World. They consider LS the smarter weapon now. LS. LS. Which one is LS? Lance? No. Longsword. Okay. I can see how. I mean, in the scheme of things, I distinctly remember longsword being a more like straightforward weapon, and beginners typically gravitated towards it anyway. So I can see how they leaned into that. It's more like Sword and Shield now. It's really flexible, so there's a lot of options mid-combat. Nice. So Sword and Shield is now more technical than it used to be. In other words. I guess? Okay. Understandable. Okay. Let's see. Flare on the light bow gun. Typically more into the heavy bow gun, but I can appreciate the maneuverability in these. Shield has some really broken motion values in World. Okay. I did enough study into the system designed to understand that sentence. Because, like, the balance of something like this is kind of fascinating to me. And, like, that's pretty much why I'm playing this, is to study the game. Pretty much why I stream just about anything that isn't Roller Coaster on this Tycoon. Is to just if I'm gonna study something for work, might as well live stream it, see if I can get some income from it, and help some people make stuff along the way. If I recall. I might get into light bow gun just for the mobility. This is nice. I like this mobility. Damage calculation for the monster is fairly complicated. Yeah. It would have to be for something like this. See, let me see if I took notes for it. I believe I did. I hope I did. Oh shit, I didn't. Damn it. As I recall, Motion values, raw attack, sharpness, hit zone values, damage buffs, armor shields. Yeah. The motion values in raw attack, I under the parts that I made the most sense to me. I'm saying that wrong. The system design for this I thought was extremely interesting. With the way that they approached how to balance all this stuff in a general sense. I mean, it's like I can do system design. I'm better at the I'm a lot better at the mechanics standpoint than I am the balance part. I'm still learning balance. Pretty crazy that in Rise you're just giving the hit zone values for every monster and every damage type. In the Hunter's Notes, are you? Along with the exact drop rates and materials. That is the... You're right. Interesting. I feel like they knew that somebody was going to just straight up, oh, what's the word? Farm this information under it anyway, so they might as well just make it a bit more accessible. Pretty much, yeah. Extremely nifty, indeed. Kuliaku. Especially drop rates, yes. Interesting. You don't need to use Kiraniku for everything anymore. I'm assuming that's a database website. Indeed, nice. Shout out to the people that have the attention, capacity, and drive to do all that kind of stuff. I'm not particularly religious, but I would describe them as doing God's work. Let's see. This is the reason why I never get past high rank, right here. Is because I will play a little bit of everything. What was the... What did I say? Because we're right now I'll be translating Frontier so I can understand how absolutely anything works. That's fair. I guess I'll have to send you a friend request. You can just DM me that on... just DM me the code in Discord. You don't have to have a friend. You don't have to be added as a friend to do that. I'd use Google Translate to figure out how to get ducks. I appreciate the difficulty of what you're describing, but I have to say that is an amazing sentence with zero context. I like that they use just translocating the targets here for visual affordance that you hit them instead of having to worry about using material. I tried doing that, but it didn't send the message? Huh. Yeah, go ahead and add me then, we'll find out. This is going to be an interesting VOD, but anyway. Try setting your translate to Japanese instead, yeah. Oh, this is Spook from the chat. Okay. Yes, hello. Okay. So left circle, ground check, position, security, splits ground. Right, this is going to take a second. Sorry for the text, couldn't send a screenshot, it's fine. Alright, so you're saying you cannot jump left, correct? Wait. Did I mistake that for somebody else? Your player can't jump on the left direction for some reason. Yeah, I can't jump to the left. Okay. Okay, let's see. Rigid body velocity equals new vector 2 move input times speed. RV velocity y. You have it checked for is facing right. No, never mind. Okay, I think it's right here. Else if is facing right equals true and move input is less than 0. I think that should be greater than 0. Wait, no. Is move input, never mind, move input's horizontal, or the axis horizontal, so that would be -1. Let's see. Debugging live on stream. And just jumping is wonky. Yeah, the problem with 2D and Unity is you have to define how gravity works and you have to define how those colliders work. Typically instead of using an overlap circle, the method that I've always used, and again, full disclosure, I haven't touched Unity in 2 years now. Almost 2.5, but traditionally what I have done previously is instead of using overlap, if you take the box collider that's the collision for the character and then just raycast down the amount that is, like raycast down a set amount, you'll be able to detect if it's on the ground that way. The problem is all of this is extremely fiddly. Like, if you do a series of raycasts along the bottom end of it to detect collision, you'll be able to add that to the velocity in which it is falling. I believe you can use the magnitude for that, but I don't remember. Don't quote me on that. You'll be able to detect whether or not you're hitting the ground, regardless of how far you are falling. And I think that would work better than overlap circle. But I mean, honestly, what you have there might be fine. I don't know without testing it myself. And I don't have Unity installed on this machine, so I wouldn't be able to. Move velocity equals new vector 2 move input times speed. Okay, what is the flip function? Copy and paste that in here too. Right, so what you're describing is it's not moving left or it's not registering to move left? Like, can you move to the right? Fine. I can move to the left and right fine, you just can't jump. Okay, that sounds like the flip function might be the problem. It also doesn't look like you're passing the move input to flip. do. Also, to finish your thought, try setting your translate to Japanese instead. It, localization is an unsung hero, in my opinion. Like, getting that to work right in general, it's not just the act of translating one language to another. It's translating one culture to another, and that can be difficult without hitting some cultural taboos by accident, which I can't think of off the top of my head, but has happened repeatedly over the past 30 years. Is facing right, does not equal is facing right. Vector 3 scalar, transform equals lower scale. Scalar's -1 transform. I do not remember enough 3D math off the top of my head. Oh wait, no. Oh wait, no. I see what you're doing. Wait. I found the problem. I think. So you can jump, you just cannot jump left, but you can jump right. Is that correct? Okay. Jump force. Set jump force. You're not setting jump force in any of this that I can see. So what's happening is jump force is probably a positive value, which means you're always going to the right. Just multiply... If you multiply the jump force times... Oh wait. Set it in the inspector. Is jump force a vector too? It's a float. Okay, so the way you have so the way you set up your jumping is that the jump is separate from whether or not you're moving left or right. So RGB velocity equal new vector 2. Move input times speed. I don't think you're setting it to the negative value that would get it to move left. Let's see. And this is... I feel like I'd be spotting this a lot faster if I had been coding more in the past 2 years. But I doubled down on the design aspect of my career. I'm a reasonable programmer, I swear. I've just always been a better designer. Speed. Yeah, the part where you're putting... How about, okay, the RB velocity equals new vector 2. I recommend putting that below the RB velocity equals vector 2 up. And I recommend having the RB velocity instead of it just being RB velocity equal new vector 2. Do RB velocity dot y equals jump force, or vector 2 dot up tug. Well, no, I think you would just be able to do that. If you manually set the velocity for the y-axis with a jump force, I think that would work, and then have the velocity under that. Maybe. Yeah, I think that's what's doing it, because like you're setting the move speed, and this is probably why jumping feels weird to begin with. It's because you're setting the move speed, the horizontal move speed, and then it's being overwritten by the jump button. So you're like you're setting the velocity twice, and I think that's what's messing with you here. Is because the way you have it written, if you're moving on the same frame that you're jumping, the jumping will override whatever it's doing to the movement. Yeah, just tell me if that helps. You know, I will see if I can remember how to use this thing. Wild axe. Man, all the snow is gone from outside. I am so disappointed. It finally snowed for the first time in like 2 or 3 years, and I was like, man, I'm gonna go outside and build a snowman. And the weather was like, nope. They brought B back into being a melee attack. Why did they do this to my bow? Look what they did to my boy. Oh, let me check the chat while I'm thinking about it. Okay. That. Okay.
Here it comes!
Something else I never play, like at the moment. Love lance. Gun lance. I do not know how to use gun lance. That looks sick as hell! With that blade on it, wow! Look at this thing! Yeah, meanwhile, if you get the lance in this game, like an entry lance in this thing, it just looks straight up like a, oh, what's it called? Like a mast of a ship. Look at this thing. I mean, how do you enter doors? Got that. Oh, there's a combo. Interesting. Maybe visual affordance about it cooling down, or is that not the thing that I thought it was? Why reload? That was it. Okay. That's a lot of damage. If I recall. Ooh.
I'm bringing the heat. What is the human best?
That uses everything in it, right? That. 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 Oh.
I'm a punch it full of holes. It needs some polish.
Okay, that, and then that, and then,
Let's have some fun.
this is it, okay. There's the visual affordance I was thinking of. Sorry about this again. Not much to do with it. Found the issue. It was the flip method. Okay.
What is the bet?
I did disable it for now since I don't have a sprite yet. Okay. Look at that flip method again. Because I'm curious myself. Which one is not facing right? Vector to scalar. Let's transform level scale. Scale equals -1. Yeah, that would have flipped the transform for the Y component too. Probably should have been scalar.x. The scalar.x equals times equals -1. I think. I don't know. It's easy to make, like, it's easy to spit ideas and harder when you're, it's easy to spit ideas when you're not looking at the code and I'm unable to run it. So I'm glad you got it fixed in whatever, in the capacity that you did. All right. What the hell was I doing? If it doesn't work, just delete it and pretend that it doesn't exist. A lot of my comments in code are commented out stuff that used to work and now don't. Or otherwise stuff that is outdated but might be useful for later iterations. But yeah, I understand. Okay, what did I do now? Oh, to touch on an earlier conversation, Skayman, you had mentioned that the movement values being a little broken, as I recall. For World? Let me make sure that I read it right to begin with. Yeah, Swordshot has some really broken motion values in the world. Game balance isn't strictly about leveling the playing field, which sounds counterintuitive, but for the most part it is. But you can scalar X fix the flip method. Thanks, no problem. It's been interesting looking at code again. It's been literally well, okay, I've been messing around with blueprints, but aside from that, it's been a while since I've used that part of my brain, so thank you as well. But yeah, game balance isn't always about making things a completely level playing field, and it's not always even possible for that. In a lot of cases, sometimes you just have to ballpark figure things and hope for the best. But intentionally overpowering and intentionally underpowering is absolutely a thing people do. Going to focus on level design? Good luck. Level design, unfortunately, is not my department, so I cannot help you much with that. But, Toad Adversary?
Hang in
Or
there.
Toad Adversary? What did
No.
he say?
Sure.
Oh, he's cycling through dialogue.
Hey.
Let me see if I can find that again. As in there was a perfect rush. As in there was the perfect rush from Sword and Shield that did like 10 times the damage it normally does. Okay, that does sound a bit overpowered. It's normalized now in Rise. There are... Let's see, how do I explain this? Balance as a concept is up for grabs in some departments, in some ways. You can logic out how it should work on paper, but the moment it gets into a player's hands, it can be a little different. A lot of us think Capcom Goof had an extra zero because the numbers were so absurd. That's entirely possible.
Go kick some butt.
Like, we are only human. Making a mistake is entirely possible. Leaving it in for that long it makes me think it might have been intentional though. But or they may have just not caught it. I don't know. It depends on how hard their QA was running. But like, okay, if balancing a game was completely full level playing field was possible in a direct sense and in a very literal sense, MMOs wouldn't, for the most part, need patch notes. I mean, there's another side of that, and I'll get to in a moment. But like, there's only so much you can do to balance it up front until you see what the community does with it. If the community starts abusing it, in loose terms, then they have to fall back on it. And there's like a play involved. If any of this is making any sense whatsoever. So like it might be intentional that they buffed that one aspect of it explicitly to give people a reason to use it. Because if memory serves, Sword and Shield was kind of regarded as a crap tier weapon for a very long time. And something like that, where it sounds like it's just like one small thing, may have made it more appealing to people that would have written it off, is my theory for all of this, with very limited understanding of Monster Hunter's history. It didn't overshadow any weapon, it was just really funny. Okay. That also may have been why they left it in then. Just like Joe Cat, I wish Sword and Shield Oils came back. Yeah, shout out to Joe Cat. I love his content. I think I played a cleric in Dungeons and Dragons and had his smite sound effect as on a soundboard. No, it was a paladin. I played a paladin and had a smite sound effect on soundboard. I've never seen them put down a new thing emoji. Oh yeah, oh, Dango. Is Dango a form emoji? I do not know. Okay, I might change games soon. I think I might run like one more hunt and then I'll change games to something else. What haven't I played in a while? Something that I could pause when people come in here with more developer questions. Its rice glutenism is probably very similar. Yeah. That makes sense. I've never seen them go ham on this either. I still like this effect. They've got like... I've mentioned it about every stream I've done of this, but like... They've got like the centralized asset in the middle, and then they've got like two different, presumably rotating while they're deforming. It's like that arching stuff attached to the hammers would probably be easier done if it like clips inside and rotates out the bottom of the map. Which I believe is what it's doing. Like, if you can look under this map, or under this right here, you'd probably see the other end of that. I don't know, it's a nice little... I see what they did to get this effect, and I like it. I'll put it that way. Let's see. Oh, you mentioned that you were wanting to get into Unity. Do you have anything in mind you wanted to build?
A special quest has been added.
Special license quest, okay.
Here's the quest list.
I don't know if I want to defeat both of those right now. Let's see. Sarios. The best quest? Once to start, I'm probably going to make a simple mobile game copy from scratch to learn the engine, like Mark Brown has done.
There's so many of them, I'd get confused
I
too.
would recommend starting with the PC game first. With the simply because deploying to mobile is kind of a pain in the ass. Okay, if you've never made a if you've never made a game before, I would. The fewer moving parts you have working, the easier the transition will be. Getting the game working on PC and then pushing to mobile would probably be the easiest thing, but I don't know that I would recommend like starting with a mobile game. That being said, if that works for you, just if that's what you're set on doing, then like go for it. If you have a goal and the drive to get that goal will see you through this, then absolutely by all means go for it that way. Just understand that putting it on mobile is a step more difficult than just doing it on PC, even as a learning project. it's definitely gonna be something I can play on PC if this is just a learning project rather than a real thing. Yeah, I understand. It's good that you're keeping that low of a scope too, because like when I went to college, I had people that were like, "Yeah, I'm gonna graduate, then I'm gonna make a MOBA," and it's like, no, you're not. I admire your dreams, but no, that's not something you're gonna make straight out of college. Timberman is what I'm going to try to create, which is basically a 2-button game that's also on PC. I think I'm familiar with that. Let me Google it, because if that's what I'm thinking is, that would be a fantastic start. Yes, this is absolutely the scope of a game, or the size of a game I would recommend doing as a starter project. Perfect scope. And I'm actually like really glad to hear that this is what you're aiming for, because a lot of people go much, much higher. And I'm including myself in this. I'm kind of stumped. Oh, was that a... I can't tell if I'm kind of stumped was a pun or if it was an actual declaration of confusion. Bonus points if it's a pun. But yeah, like... I mean, I've got big ambitions, but I have to get the experience first. Yes, yeah, exactly. Such big ambitions, being a VR open survival craft game with dungeons. Yeah, you're gonna need a team for that. But I mean, if that's your goal and that's what gets you into development, then you know, shoot for the moon. VR first-person shoot with augmenters like Risk of Rain. The first-person shooter part of that would... I mean, the asset creation is going to be your holdback at that point. But the anything in 3D is going to be harder to make from an art standpoint. And from a coding standpoint. Like 2D games, platformers, much different, much easier math. My first ambition was making a 3D horror game with advanced AI. Yeah. I think the first thing I ever wanted to make was an RPG. I was also like 7. So that didn't work out. I think the biggest scope thing I've tried to make semi-recently was an arena shooter in college using UDK, which was feasible, really. I mean, Unreal's based for character action stuff, so that wouldn't have been that hard to make. But it wouldn't have, scope-wise, it was reasonable, and I got a decent amount of way into the guns, but I do not know level design and didn't know enough about design in general to make that magic happen. But yeah, so the game jam that I was mentioning earlier that Spook is participating in now is... Are you in my first game jam? Is that how you found me? Out of curiosity, Skayman? Or did you find me through Monster Hunter? I'm asking because like right now there's a game jam running 4 people, like 4 complete beginners. That just started on Saturday and runs for 2 weeks. I had a loose idea for 2D platform with a focus in sword combat, then like a year ago I found a game that basically did exactly what I was thinking. Don't let that discourage you. Honestly. Like, there was a story... I might have to go soon. I smell hamburger and I'm getting hungry. There was a story about... I was feathering through Monster Hunter Rise streams. Okay. Make stuff because you like doing it, yes. Like, hard agree. ETD forgot I was talking about. Yeah, if you want to do a game jam that started right now, it's called My First Game Jam. I'm a moderator for it. I did a big stream of how to get in. The stream I did a couple days ago was to help from the design aspect. If you want to get in on that, you could probably find a team right now. Something I like to do, and seeing if someone needs help learning the game, especially weapon movesets. Like, thank you for your service. Like, I appreciate that. I'm comfortable in this game, but there's always more to learn, and I did not know the differences that you pointed out. And also, a lot of people will be going into this game a Luxor tutorial any day. Yes. Like, that alone will help people get into this game, and I like this game, and I like seeing people get into it. So I appreciate what you're doing with that. And Charge Blade mechanics, yeah. I'm not touching the Charge Blade until I go back through Eric's gaming tutorials for that. But yeah, about Mark Brown, like, one of the reasons, like, I started this stream and have done game development streams on here is because I got nothing wrong with Mark Brown. Just about all design content and video game content on YouTube comes from two people. There are two things. It's either GDC, which is like high-level stuff, or like lower-level entry stuff. And a lot of the lower-level entry stuff, not Mark Brown, I respect Mark Brown, but a lot of the design stuff on YouTube is pretty much people just kind of wielding design to validate their own opinions, which is, I have mixed feelings about. I mean, they're sharing their opinion in an interesting way, and I got no problem with that. But at the same time, I can't recommend a YouTube channel that will help with development because of that. They don't have, like, most of them are entertainers and are sharing their opinions, which is valid, but don't really have any particular use when you try to sit down and make stuff yourself, if that makes sense. I think Mark Brown is one of the first people that was going this direction. It's like, well, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is and actually learn development, and I respect him for that. But, like, I really wish that there were YouTube channels I could recommend to help with this. Because from scanning for them for like 7 or 8 years now, I found nothing that I would recommend. And it's frustrating because, like, you can go to college for this and it still not help you out in the field. Like, a lot of the people that teach game design on a college level are teaching it because they couldn't get into the industry. So the stuff that they're teaching, they can't teach from experience, so they're teaching the stuff that's either their own preference or how far they've gotten. So they're teaching a new batch of kids that don't know if they do manage to get the industry proper, they're going to have to unlearn what they learned in college to do it. So it's kind of, entry-level game design is kind of a clusterfuck right now, and I'm worried and concerned by it, because I got off on a tangent. But anyway, I don't know. I just want to help people make games, because I don't see a lot of it from a production-focused capacity. So that's kind of why I'm here. But anyway, speaking of the jam, let me check it real quick. I need my character. Enemies are going to be difficult. Yeah. I love AI in games, and I can help you with that, especially in a platformer capacity. So, like, okay, let's. I'll drop by if you need any help. Okay, yeah. The drop by here or drop by the game jam. Either is fine. I like asking, or I like helping with development, so I will help in either capacity. But, like, 2D design and 3D design on a basic level are completely different. Like, if this was a monster out in the field, like, 3D design is about player attention. Like, for example, I got this one focus thing, he's going to do all this stuff, and I need to get around them, I need to hit them, so on and so forth. 2D design will probably be the channel. That's fine. Yeah, you hit me up if you want help, or you just need advice and stuff. I'm happy to do it. The group game development feels really intimidating to me right now. Yeah, that's understandable. Like that. A lot of the people that come in are like, "Hey, I've never made a game before, but I'm excited to learn. But I don't think I can do that much." And it's like, yeah, that's the point of the jam, so that you can just find people and explore development together, like make some friends. This jam in particular also has like straight up industry people looking for different things. Scared to ask someone to do something for me. Yeah, I understand that. I genuinely have difficulty asking for help in a general sense. So I know how that feels. But yeah, that's kind of what the jam is for, is to get a team together. It's like, hey, this would be cool if we made this together, and be like, okay, and then you contribute what you can. If you don't have a game by the end of it, that's fine. You've at least tried, and you've got some progress, and you've maybe made some friends, and realized that at the end of the jam, if you've learned anything, you won. Like, there's not any... The prize is you having made a game. So it's not like... I mean, there's a lot of game jams that have like straight like global game jam. You work for 3 days and there's like a competition and a prize at the end and so on and so forth. And it's like a little competitive in that aspect. It's casually competitive, but it is competitive. This one is just straight up like, hey, do you want to make a game? Here's other people that want to make one too. Find some friends, go for it, have fun, ask questions. And it's got like a bunch of industry people like that help out for it. Like Jay in the chat works at Insomniac. And like I've had industry people that like currently work with the like I did a game jam with him with a friend of mine that I met through this thing that worked on Halo Infinite. Like, it's everybody just out there having a good time. I remember making an extremely basic RPG for a project in school through this app builder that uses puzzle blocks, which definitely helped my understanding for basic programming. Yeah, use what you got, and just have a good time with what you've got. And like, if you're having fun with the process, you're gonna have fun making something bigger. MIT App Inventor, interesting. Those kind of things I typically find... Oh no, that ain't fair to say. I was gonna say I find them basic, but the idea is to not make anything complicated with them and to just get your foot in the door, so I think programs like that will do well for that. Before I forget, Skaman, if on my VOD channel below, there is highlighted a stream I did a couple years ago for like just how to build a game from scratch. This is the main part of our house, so I just kind of had to. Yeah. Well, I back myself into a corner. I'm not insulting the program or insulting the use. I just got sidetracked because I find those things limited for like extended use, but for like really for getting your foot in the door in game development, I think they're fine. I think that's what they're built to do. It's like, hey, here are some very small components. You can make a game with them, get your foot in the door, get some experience, see if you enjoy the process. I think they're great for that. But yeah, like in my VOD channel below the stream there, I have like an basic quick intro to game design with like production techniques on how to get started. Because like the easiest thing to do when you make a game is to be like, to work on the wrong stuff in the wrong order and be like, okay, well, I have all and then at the end of the jam, or at the end of like a month in, you'd be like, well, I have all this random stuff, but I don't have anything playable, and I don't have anything to show with your friends, or show to my friends. So like, I have a video that will help with that, if that interests you. If you're having difficulty with production. Some scratch makers can make 3D labyrinths. That's okay, that's cool. It's entirely possible that my knowledge of those things in general could be extremely dated by now. Because like I've been using Unity since like 2012, and I'm just getting into Unreal now. I'll phrase it like this. I find them limiting. If they help you make what you want to make, it doesn't matter what my opinion is. Put it like that. So long as it can, so long as whatever your tool of choice gets done what you want to get out of it, you're good. Doesn't matter what anyone else thinks about it. I assume it's the father of the software and game development category. Probably. The one that I did a couple days ago is still on my Twitch channel, but on my YouTube channel, it's just YouTube, just Solace Eternal on YouTube. It's the what did I name this thing? Good lord, I don't remember the name of my own stream that I'm talking out. Let's see. Let me just put the screen in the chat. I'll just do that. If it's something you would recommend a lot, I think you should highlight it. I do have it highlighted on my YouTube channel. The stream that I did. Okay, I've done 2 streams for this. The most recent one is the one on Twitch. The one I'm referring to you right now about how to get up and started is on YouTube. The YouTube one is the one I just put in the chat. The Twitch one I would also recommend. It's a little bit deeper dive into game design, and system design specifically. Using a very old example with a very old game. But yeah. They're both streams are my attempt to try to help people wrap their head around game design, because that's kind of difficult to do outside of it. It's an art form. It's something you have to work towards before you can... It's not like programming where you can just kind of like learn the syntax and then learn the language and then learn the logic as well. You have to like wrap your head around the... I'm explaining this terribly, but I hope I'm getting my point across. Yeah, initial stream is about production and a little bit of game design. This most recent one is just exclusively game design. But yeah, to finish the other thought on AI. AI for 3D is based on around player attention, and this game's a fantastic example of that, because you have the monsters that you're constantly focusing on, and then they will actually go against that by having smaller monsters attack you with some of the bosses, or some of the monsters as well. 2D design is exclusively about space. Like, if you look at Mega Man, the AI in that game, the old school Mega Man, like the NES and Super Nintendo ones, the AI was basically an extension of the level design. Because, like, your objective is to get from the left end of the screen all the way to the right. Jump and shoot, man, yeah. Jump and shoot, man! Is, you get to the left, you get from the left end of the level to the right. All of the enemies are placed in ways to prevent you from doing that, and to make doing that interesting. The YouTube link I just put in also, like, goes into Mega Man as an example of 2D level design, and 2D game design. I will always recommend studying like older NES games if you're wanting to do 2D design, and just to wrap your head around design in general, because those things have so few moving parts that they're really easy to pick apart. And coincidentally, the second stream that I did a couple days ago was about how to study existing games to get better at design. I will be right back and we'll check on food. Okay, back. I might sometimes look at a certain aspect of the game and ask why or what to myself. Yeah, that you always want to ask why. Anything in a game exists for a reason, and they all work towards something. See other things. That is the whole idea of game design and the development for it is really interesting, but really starting on it seems pretty daunting. That's why I'm just kind of doing this baby step with not to move in first. Yeah, absolutely. Like, the smaller your first project is, the easier the transition will be. Welcome back, thank you. I've also got a friend who's got experience in Unity game development. I've watched him try developing an open world game idea, so I figured we could probably do a project together once I get a passable point Unity experience to help build our portfolios. Nice. Yeah, I hope that works out well. Open world is... Well, okay. There is a benefit to jumping in head first. Like, there is absolutely a benefit to just jumping, or just shooting for the moon and just jumping into it. That benefit will be you will find your limitations. A lot of people don't move past that step because, like, a lot of people grew up playing, like, World of Warcraft or Guild Wars or whatever, and be like, I'm going to build an MMO, and then they sat down and built it and got so overwhelmed that they never tried making a game again. That feeling is specifically why I recommend starting small. But, like, at the same time, something like this where you've got like a long-term goal you can work towards, yeah, like, play around with that idea, see what you can do with it. Like, if you want to jump in and like start trying to help with that now, then cool. But just understand that, like, failure in game development is literally a part of learning. Like, you cannot learn game development without failing and landing flat on your ass along the way. The easier the transition, the easier the transition into development, the less difficult it will be to pick yourself back up again, I feel. And like if you complete a small game start to finish, that's also like an edge on itself, because it feels good and you're like, okay, I made this. This is from me. This came from me, and I can show it off to people and be like, look, I made this thing. And then you can make another one. Maybe that one's a little bigger. Maybe you keep going, and then suddenly you're working on Halo Infinite or whatever. Like, if you've got a long-term goal, that is fantastic. And I hope you have fun working on it.
Make sure to check the special quest as well. Which quest would you like?
That VR Arlo shooter I was thinking about, I feel like could be a good scope for another project since it'd be most straightforward. Yes and no. The shooter part? Yes. So long as you're okay with vector math. The VR part, I can't speak towards one way or the other. It will be a level of complication on the gameplay, but it will... Okay. The most basic thing you can make right now is a PC game. Adding, like, if you make it a mobile game, if you make it a VR game, if you make it a console game, that's another layer of complication towards it. So, like, I can't speak towards, like, what VR development in a general sense is like. They all have their limitations. Like, with mobile, you have no idea, you will have no way of knowing what size screen your person, or your player base will be using. It'll be all over the place, because everybody has a different size phone. Console, it depends on which console. They will all have different, like, hardware and software limitations. Like, for example, World looking gorgeous, and Rise looking this...
I'll be here if you need me.
Simplified? I'll put it as simplified, because I don't think this is a bad visual aesthetic, but, like, the limitations of the hardware is a limitation of what you're able to put on it. VR, I would assume has the technical limitations of a console game, but I guess it would depend on what kind of VR you're using. If it's, like, built into the headset, or I don't know. I don't know enough about VR to comment. But all I want to get across is the VR part of what you're describing is probably going to be one of the more harder things of that. If you want to make a first-person shooter in a general sense, like, Unreal's got you covered. If you know, like if you were good at trigonometry and you have an engine that will work with Unreal, and you have someone that can do 3D modeling animations, you are set. Hard, like full stop. Well, I say Unreal. You could do that. You could do that in Unity. It would probably just be a little easier with Unreal because Unreal already has VR stuff built into it. Like if you make a new project and you do like a third-person shooter, it has the hooks for that just present and available in Blueprints.
I have a special quest for you.
Okay, what was it doing?
Here's the quest list.
Count items. Where? Oh, these are different every time. I did not know that. Parts. Good option. Unreal doesn't have the greatest code base. I don't know. Like, every engine out there, from the consumer-facing ones like Unity and Unreal to the stuff Bethesda's using and like Frostbite and all that, all of them have questionable code bases if you get down under it, because they've, for a number of reasons. Yeah, every engine has its limitations. Yeah, like any engine you're working with, if you get good enough at that engine, you're going to be finding yourself trying to circumvent its shortcomings to get done what you want to be done. So, yeah, that's possible, and that may hold you back in some capacity, but you're also going to hit that with anything anyway. On a related note, and this is complete theory, I genuinely suspect that Fallout 76 exists to help alleviate the technical debt in Bethesda's engines. I could be way off base, but that is the impression I get. Let's see, I think technical debt. Oh, okay. In a code base, anytime, and this is usually because you're running out of time, but like, if you have to like hardwire a solution to a problem, like effectively just putting a band-aid on it and like saving the work to fix it properly later, that's called technical debt. And it can accumulate, and it will accumulate to the point where eventually you have to deal with it or your engine just breaks. Well, engine code base. It works. It's something that applies to every code base, regardless of industry or game development or whatever. It sure seemed like it did, yeah. I don't know. I want to specify, I'm not taking pot shots at Bethesda. Their games are known for some particular glitches, but they have always made it more charming for me. Like, Skyrim on launch had a lot of bugs, and just like hitting a saber-toothed cat with a sword and it ragdolling and then just slowly gathering up momentum and then like spiraling into space. It's like, I live for that. It's... Bethesda bugs specifically has such a great charm to them. I am absolutely looking forward to that happening with spaceships in Starfield. Or actually, no, well actually, they may have the good bugs. Yes, exactly. I mean, they may have spent time to alleviate that stuff with 76. 76 may have also been a pivot point for multiplayer stuff. In fact, that may have been what happened in 76. They tried pivoting their engine to multiplayer more. Considering the current focus on live service games, I can absolutely see them making Starfield into that, and then using Fallout 76 as the pivot point for the engine to get the multiplayer in and working and stable and good, to the point where Starfield can release without a hitch. I can see that being an angle. I am absolutely basing that on a hunch, though. It's not a bug, it's a feature. You would be surprised how often that literally happens. Like, dated reference, but if either of y'all have heard about the game Tribes, like even like the more recent one was like 2012 with Tribes Ascend with Hi-Rez, which is a fantastic game in my opinion. And with Valorant, one of the player selectable banners would be for some absurd reason stretched to fit horizontally on the loading screen for matches, and we love it. Yeah, like the small things that are out of place. Oh, did it actually get fixed? To people's disappointment specifically? That's amazing. But yeah, like there's a game called Tribes. Next patch it will be. There's a game called Tribes that was based around skiing, basically. It had these great big open maps, and you had a gun that shoot like frisbee discs looking things. And there was this huge focus in these games about momentum, where you would slide down the mountains and then fly up a slope and then just launch yourself into the game. And it was like the entire experience was based around doing this. It's the focus on momentum and everything just made the game what it is, and it was absolutely a bug in development. They tried jumping on a slope and it kind of freaked out, and then just started skidding down the mountain, and they played around with it enough and it's like, okay, this is now a feature, and then that's what made the franchise. Bugs in some popular games turn into features in further releases. Yeah. Like, the thing about game development is it's only a bug if it's unintentional, because the objective is to have fun. If people are having fun with a bug, there's no reason to fix it, because having fun is why they're there to begin with. Tribes having crazy movement. Yeah, exactly. I really hope they bring back Tribes again. I love that franchise. I started with Tribes 2. I even like Tribes Vengeance, which worked really well on dial-up for some reason.
All delicious. I know what you like.
I am now finding out
Can I take your order?
that this thing does not save. It is whatever that one is for the hunt you're doing. Oh, that's fine. Which one was the trainer? So this is literally the same thing, just about. Okay.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Oh, that's fine.
Time to go.
Oh, before I go on this hunt, I'm going to check the... Oh, one of the people in chat worked on Spider-Man. Nice. Oh, no, of course, that was Jay. Never mind. Jay did the shaders for it. Where Insomniac left on that? Okay, ooh. I don't know that Tribes in its old iteration has an audience with contemporary people in a large enough manner to with a large enough following to go anywhere. I don't think the space that it offered really works well with contemporary shooters.
Darkness of the night,
I mean, it kind of might work in a battle royale, but it's not really Tribes though.
Bandits prowl out of sight. A sudden resounding boom. This is not the mountain's roar. Do not be mistaken.
Oh, is this the Rocky dude?
What seemed like rocks are rocks no more.
I like that you can mine these if they're asleep.
As soon as
It's such a nice touch. The world building.
The monster shows its actual form. Both prey and earth are shaken.
Was he a fire boy?
Alright, let's go.
Doot, doot. Antidote and barrel bombs. Interesting. Very interesting.
Let's see. That takes care of that.
What is this? Oh. Gust Crab. What's Gust Crab do? I like the little visual affordance for here. They intentionally make it look like a crate to differentiate itself as endemic life and just as something in your inventory that isn't going to be permanent. I don't remember what this does. Wait. Oh! That's pretty cool! Is it better for one script to do everything or multiple scripts doing the task? That is an eternal question that has been asked. Like, that is a question for debate that you will hear multiple different answers for. And it really depends on I believe it depends on what language and environment you're doing it in, because I know a lot of, if you're working in pure C#, it's not uncommon for it to have a crap ton of different classes. For me personally, I just organize them by utility, if that makes sense. Like, I'll have an AI script, I'll have a separate script that communicates with animation state machines that I can just point it to. I'll have another one for physics simulations. For like gravity and stuff like that I can just point to. Okay. Having a physics script be its own thing means you can just slap it onto any AI and character in the game, and so that none of them have to worry about it again. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. So there is utility and modularity for scripts as well. But as a more concise answer, I would say whatever works for you is fine for this project. Whatever works for you and does not give you headaches, specifically. I think multiple scripts will do since it'll be easier to find bugs. Yes and no. Yeah, well... Maybe? I don't know. Everyone has their own... I think... Wait. I already read that. Okay. I think everyone has their own way that they handle this question. So just finding your workflow and what works for you will be the best answer. As far as techniques go, like... Again... Organizing it in a way that organizing them to specific things might work well for you, but whatever works is fine. The game isn't that complex, so it shouldn't cause a major issue. There is that too.
Mine.
Okay, so he just erupts poison. I thought he was a fire dude. He is a fire dude. He does both. Huh.
You're done for.
Interesting fight. Ether farting. I was trying to avoid that comparison, but you're not wrong. Guess I can hit the legs. Okay, so I was talking about like 3D design. Notice how my attention is exclusively on this enemy and what it's doing. Like, if you extend this to like having a firefight in a third person or like a first person shooter, it's the same general concept. You've got to focus your attention between different enemies and stuff. To the extent where contemporary... Oh, it's just elemental in general. Okay. Contemporary shooters typically use some kind of focus system so that they can gather which ones are actually shooting at you, and that is usually weighted on the stuff that you're visually looking at, as opposed to things outside of your field of vision. It is more common to get shot by something that you can see, or that is in front of you, versus something behind you that you would never see coming. There's always going to be exceptions, but it's typically weighted in that direction, from my understanding. Meanwhile, 2D design exists on only 2 axes, so you don't have to worry about attention, because they don't have to worry about rotation. At that point, especially if there are enemies that can like damage you by touching, you have this is actually harder than I thought it would be, trying to talk design while actually smacking the crap out of something. The way that they move in space would create additional variation of the level design, and is effectively used towards it. I think it'd be a good way to describe it. When I get over here, it's going to be covered. Yep. Slap you in your butt. Boom. That was not good. Oh shit. Overcommitted. Oh, no.
Making progress.
My muscle memory from World is absolutely saving my ass. Okay.
After it! Yeah! Good as new!
Can a pickaxe be more effective? Yeah. Probably. The starter hammer, related to that, actually, if you charge it all the way, it has a little animation where it opens up all the way and looks like a little pickaxe. I think it's really cool. Hello, Rathius. Pardon me, gentlemen.
This is gonna be good!
Ride mechanics interesting. Narratively, it's a little weird that you can just force them to attack, but I mean, it's fun, so who cares? I just poisoned the boy. Dude, Brobert Stevenson has been poisoned. Some monsters can be mined and KO'd, and it's great to discover. Nice! Oh, they're both pissed at me. That kind of stuff, like... I'm not really into narrative for games, it's just not really my thing. But, like... stuff like that, where it, like, kind of enhances the world and the experience a little bit. I love those little details like that. Ow. How did I not take any damage from that whatsoever? Not that I'm complaining. Speaking of which, nibble snarf, that's an amazing word. From the older games, had a fishing minigame to KO him, that's incredible.
You shouldn't have ticked me off!
Spin attack. I can remember the Big Bang Theory opening music thing I'd be singing right now. I don't even like that show, I just like the pun more than anything
Be
else.
careful!
Whoa! Lord! I have no idea if I play Hammer efficiently or not. All I know is I'm able to kill things. Probably using Big Bang. I'm probably a little too gutsy with the Big Bang. I'm gonna have to look at what a Nebel Snarf is, because that's an amazing word. Mr. I really love how this game telegraphs stuff. It gives you so much room to adjust. I mean, again, not to discredit how intimidating other fights were in World and before it. But they just read really well and they give you plenty of time to adjust. I think this is a great entry for just learning how to play Monster Hunter. I value the accessibility.
Go!
Shout out to my dog's ankles. This cannot be easy. Going to let this thing go to where it wants to be. Hopefully fall asleep. Oh, it's not going to fall asleep. Oh, that's fine. Oh! I love that little jump so much.
Here it comes!
Oh! Just... Here, let me dodge right into the fight.
This is the end! You shouldn't have ticked me off! Let's have some fun!
I gotta go see it. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for hanging out. Have fun with the game.
Here comes the messy part. Nothing personal, buddy. I'll be taking this.
Dog is hitting things with an umbrella, and I'm here for it.
Good job, buddy. All right!
Bingo.
again.
I think I'm gonna take a break myself. I've been doing this about 4 hours now. Alright. Okay, this has been fun. I'm going to take a break. I will be on again either sometime this afternoon or later tonight. Unsure. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. This has been fun. And I will go Google what a nibble snarf is, because that is amazing. That emote is also amazing. Alright, see ya.